Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Leos. Leos, I don't know why, but I feel like this could be a really important one. Maybe because this is the day before Chinese New Year. The year of the snake starts tomorrow. So let's just dip our toe in kind of like the little bit of exciting build up for next year. Well, for Year of the Snake. We have the Two of Swords. We have strong Libra energy on this one. There's a lot of divine lighting coming through. I think I Leo cannot see something that's coming. They're completely oblivious to it. Somebody is doing some serious prayers. This is like we could have a Taurus that's about to take some action. We could have a Libra that's about to take some kind of action toward Leo, and Leo has no clue about it. This is like they're sending up a little prayer. When you call my name, it's like a little prayer down on my knees. I want to take you there. We got a little Madonna coming up. Ooh, they're giving out a little prayer of like, please let this not be a fight. Please let this be something that I can find the words to convey. You notice we don't have Leo really here. This is all playing out on someone else's mind. And it's very much in their mind, right? But it's also in their soul. The mind is all the sword energy, right? All the thoughts. And here's their soul and their higher self saying, please let me find the right words. Please let me navigate what could be hostility. They're expecting hostility from Leo. Why? King of Wands. No, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, you guys, I have had King of Wands energy has been nuts. Every collective message I have done for the last 48 hours has been an epic saga of the King of Wands. So I had two different standalone collective messages where he was the creature feature. Then today I had to do a 3-part epic, it's like an hour long if you break it into the 3 parts, or rather if you combine them. And I don't know, Leo, is this still interwoven? I never intend my stories to be interwoven. It just feels like we can't seem to escape this lead character, this King of Wands. Now, it doesn't mean that they have to be the same person, like a Leo, Sag, or Aries. It could just be collectively speaking. We're also in the midst of some big planetary alignments. So perhaps we are seeing characters that need to course correct. This is a really good time to start course correcting, also because it heralds in a new cycle, a new year that is dedicated more to transformation, change, shedding an old skin, wisdom, and mysticism. Maybe that's why we're seeing like the heart is starting to rule. Like, that's what my big takeaway would be if I combine those 5 collective messages that were all about a King of Wands journey and what we're seeing right now. The heart is ruling. Now, yes, the heart is ruling, but in their head, they're still really thinking through things. They're still really trying to figure out, what do I do? What do I do? Please let me find the right words. Please let me navigate. Let me find the inspiration so that we don't get into an argument. Please don't let me get argumentative with my Leo, because my heart really wants this. I want to walk through this threshold. I want to get to the 10 of Pentacles, but no matter how much he wants this or he wants that, the truth of it is he still knows this could go either way. So this is a King of Wands who clearly wants to talk to Leo. Now, let's say this was about Leo, since we do have a King of Wands. Let's say this is Leo saying, please let this work. This is the job that I really want to go interview for. Let it go well. I don't know why they would worry that there's going to be hostility, right? That feels more personal. Like, you go into a job interview and you're not going to get hostile. Why would you? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. So I'm thinking that this is more on a one-on-one basis, a personal, emotionally charged basis, because this is what someone's heart really wants. And before they approach, they're hoping, praying that they can navigate these, what could be like one wrong step. It's like a little bit of a verbal minefield. One wrong step and the thing could blow up in their face, and they don't want it to, because they really, really want this, but they still know anything could happen. Even if it went exceptionally well, there still is, there's a certain amount where this is what they want, but whether or not the thing that they want will want them in return, they have no control over. So no matter how well a conversation is about to go or might go, they still don't know what the outcome of it would be. But they're just praying for their role, that they can find the right words to address, address a heartbreak, something that, did they betray their Leo or cause their Leo grief? Is that what this is about? That's why they're expecting, like, hoping and praying that they can navigate around a Five of Swords, but there is a heartbreak. Who's heartbroken? Do they think Leo was heartbroken, or is it them? Palace of Wands. No, I think that they think Leo, they broke Leo's heart, because this is the heart. And that's fire energy. They want to be in Leo's world, but this is somebody who believes that they broke Leo's heart, and they are hoping and praying that they can find a way to have dialogue. Why does Leo not see this? Why is it that they know Leo has no idea? Justice. We have strong Libra energy. I'm going to say, because why would Leo think that somebody who did something that was unjust and unfair, if you were willing to do something unjust and unfair, what's the likelihood percentile that you would ever come back in to fix it, right? If you weren't the kind of person who would have done that in the first place, or rather I should say, if you are the kind of person that will do something that's that wrong, really, how many people come back and then go, I'm so sorry that I did that? If you were knowing it was wrong, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. If so, you did know it was wrong and you did it anyway, then the likelihood of you coming in to try to make it go away is very poor. So they know that Leo thinks you did me dirty, you betrayed me or hurt me somehow. So of course you're never coming back to fix it. Like, they know that that would be Leo's opinion on this. And I think this is why they assume that they're going to be met with tremendous hostility. And they are praying. What is it that you're praying for, really? The Emperor. They are praying for the chance to speak their entire piece. They are praying for the opportunity to, like, own what has gone on. This feels so similar to that 3-part collective message that I put out today. Five of Swords, Ace of Coins. They are, again, hoping and praying that instead of being met with hostility, that somehow they'll find the right combination of words. They'll display themselves in such a way that Leo will be able to see something different about them, and Leo in turn might respond differently to them. Let me move cards over. Let me go back over to the card of betrayal. Three of Swords, because I mean, this is the crux of this story, right? It's all the ugliness that has to be addressed. The High Priestess, it was betrayal that was never fully acknowledged. It was more like what Leo picked up on. They didn't verbalize what had happened, but that is partly what hurt Leo so much, and also because there was a really powerful energetic bond between themselves and Leo. Give me another on that. I mean, it's even worse if you hurt your High Priestess, because it's like you're being a liar about it and you think I'm not going to know. You know, you're trying to hide it and you think I wouldn't know. We have the Star, we have the Chariot, and we have the Devil. Whatever was done here, whatever this betrayal was, it was done at a distance, and they really hoped that they could distance themselves from it, from who they were. They could keep that part of themselves hidden away and secret. But you can't hide something when your partner is, either astute enough or, merged enough energetically with you. It's like Leo may not have known the nuts and bolts of what occurred, but Leo knows that there was a betrayal. And they know it too. They know that Leo can read them like a book, but they thought perhaps if it was done at such a huge distance, it was done off planet, off world, that they could hide from it, run from it, and pretend it didn't happen. Almost like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, that we just won't talk about that and then pretend, since it didn't happen in our normal environment, that we can just pretend it never occurred. But that doesn't work. And in fact, this is ultimately what the biggest betrayal was, is they tried to pull that stunt. I don't know if this person was living a double life. I don't know. I don't really want to ask this question, but I guess I will. What did you do? Character, what did you do? 10 of Wands. God, something that they were either, they're so embarrassed of. They're so heavily embarrassed of, but it could have been something that was a result of like an entire lifetime of behavioral patterning, or heck, they could be ashamed that they like bowed to the pressures of something that they had been steeped in, trained in. You notice how this person is like, they got no clothes on and they're in a fetal position. So it's like baby. This is stuff that was ingrained in them from babyhood onward. The 10 of Wands is a lifetime of pressure that, like training and indoctrination and things like that. They are ashamed, though, that maybe they weren't strong enough to not like push back against indoctrination. What is this? I still don't get it. 10 of Cups in the reverse. Honestly, they're just so ashamed that maybe they treated Leo like that, like what happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas. Maybe they had a romance with Leo and then they basically pretended Leo didn't exist, because it was like, well, the family wouldn't accept Leo. And so that was just my one chance to step out, have some kind of enjoyment, but then I'll just forget I ever met Leo. Leo's, in a different country, state, province, wherever. Leo's not in my day-to-day life, and I'm just going to, pretend like Leo doesn't exist anymore. That's a big betrayal for sure. And it's like Leo was their secret, their taboo, their secret escape. What's the song? Secret Rendezvous. Is that Karen White? Yeah, 3 of Cups in the reverse. They just tried to like obliterate the fact that they had ever had anything to do with Leo. We do have a 3 of Cups in the reverse. I don't know. Did they step out? Were they in some other connection and they just pretended that they didn't step out? They went back home and, maybe they met Leo on a vacation or something and then pretended that they hadn't met Leo at all. I don't know, though. That 3 of Cups is in the reverse. I'm not sure. We got the 7 of Pentacles upright. Boy, oh boy. They've been staring and watching and spying from a distance, from the shadows, all this freaking time. It's been a long time. So what is it that is making them suddenly say, I must. I hope that I can come back into Leo. I hope I can tell Leo. I hope they'll listen to me. I hope that they'll see that I'm taking charge of things now. I hope. I'm no longer, living by some weird indoctrination that made me make Leo be my secret taboo. Something has collapsed in their life with the Tower. Something has just pancaked. They are either, the Tower is great. I love the card. It's about everything gets stripped away, and what really gets stripped away is confines. The Tower is where we're trapped, where we're stuck. It's a mental prison. It's a physical, bias that makes us small-minded. And when that gets torn down, ripped away, that's when we finally have freedom to think for ourselves and be more, like empowered, because we're not in these rigid structures anymore. So that's why I love the Tower, even though it is a huge collapse. Something just went belly up in their life, and it could have been their job. 9 of Pentacles is in the reverse. They may have suddenly lost everything. Maybe Leo was taboo. They weren't supposed to be with Leo, because of their job. Leo didn't fit a profile, or they imagined that Leo wouldn't fit into their, the culture of whatever their world was made up of, which is so pathetically small-minded and biased. I can't stand stuff like that. This was very toxic, and they're ashamed of themselves for acting this way. So that's why I'm thinking, if they're ashamed of the fact that they didn't have what it took to just like be with somebody that they wanted to be with, it's like, oh, well, Leo doesn't fit my, if I live in this world, I have this career path. I might love Leo, but I'm going to pretend that they don't exist anymore, because, how could I introduce them to my peer group? Well, now that peer group or that lifestyle has totally collapsed for them, which is less than about them taking charge of things as like an emperor, and more, I'm sorry to say it this way, but it's more along the lines of the thing that they stayed for and stayed away from Leo for has dissolved. So now it's like, okay, now I can be with Leo because I don't have to worry. Like, they should have been proud to walk with Leo regardless. I'm having a struggle with this story, but I digress. Let's stick with it here. Again, with the spying, we got the Page of Swords and we've got this Queen of Cups, and here they are writing a letter. I can see why they're expecting Leo to be hostile toward them, especially because of their reasonings for staying away. Even though, I mean, essentially their reasonings were, Leo is just, they're not in my day-to-day life, but they could have brought Leo into their day-to-day life, but they didn't. They wanted Leo all this time, but oh no. I don't understand what the taboo was, or maybe I'm using, the wrong perspective on this, but whatever it was, they, I think with this big collapse in their life, a collapse of what seems like a career or a monetary or a constructed vision of what success looked like, maybe their ego has dropped and they no longer care what anybody thinks of them. If they would have been criticized for somehow being with Leo, it no longer matters to them. This might be them finally wanting to like express something to Leo. What's the Queen of Cups there for? This is, again, they've been like spying for so long. It's almost like they're saying, I learned something from you, Leo. Death card in the reverse. You know what I think? I think Leo challenged them to become an actually like a free person, a free thinking person, someone who doesn't give a fly and flip about what anybody thinks of them for their own life choices, somebody that's powerful enough, brave enough, self-assured enough to choose what they want, what they like, who they love, and be very open about it. Because I'm thinking that they're saying, I never forgot you, Leo, and the way you set a new standard for me of what like empowerment looks like, what love looks like. I've been chewing on the words that you spoke or the way you were, because it changed something in me all this time. I can see that this is the stuff that they need to tell Leo, and I can also see why they would be freaking out. I don't know that Leo will want to hear from me. I'm hoping and praying that they'll hear me out. I'm hoping and praying that I can explain to Leo, because Leo changed this person, from the inside out. It made this person a better person. I don't know that Leo's going to want them, but that's for Leo to decide. All we can see is what they are coming in to hope and pray Leo will hear them out on, because this is a lot for them to try to explain. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks so much, Leos, for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.